Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai Sports News. And we are kicking things off with a massive story shaking the foundations of world football. FIFA is in serious trouble, and I mean serious. Both BBC Sport and Sky Sports have been all over this one, so let's break it down. According to BBC Sport, FIFA president Gianni Infantino, who has been in charge for a decade now, is facing one of the biggest challenges of his tenure. The controversy? FIFA has launched a consultation process about selling stakes in a commercial entity tied to the World Cup to private investors. In plain English, they're exploring handing a slice of football's crown jewel over to outside money. And the backlash has been fierce. As Sky Sports reporter Kaveh Al-Hakal analyzed, FIFA's response, which came out in the middle of the night, was described by critics as, quote, desperate and tone-deaf. UEFA has gone as far as threatening to boycott FIFA tournaments altogether if these plans go ahead. And it's not just Europe. CONCACAF has also rejected the proposals outright. FIFA, for its part, insists, and Sky Sports confirmed their official statement, that, quote, nobody is selling football. But as BBC Sport notes in their deep dive on Infantino's career, the FIFA boss has a long history of clashing with football unions and European football's power brokers, while staying close to figures like former U.S. President Donald Trump. The question being asked right now, as Sky Sports puts it, is this the beginning of the end for Infantino? We'll be watching this one very closely. All right, staying in the football world, and Manchester United fans, this one's for you. ESPN's Transfer Talk is reporting that the Red Devils are actively scouting not one, but two wingers currently plying their trade in Serie A as they look to strengthen their attacking options. Now ESPN hasn't named the specific targets just yet, but the fact that United are casting their net into Italian football suggests they're looking for proven top-flight quality with experience in a major European league. The club clearly has business to do before the window slams shut. Also in the same Transfer Talk report from ESPN, USMNT midfielder Gio Reyna is drawing interest from French side Strasbourg. Reyna has had a tough few years with injuries. But if a move to League One gets him consistent game time, that could be exactly what he needs to get his career back on track ahead of future international duty. So a busy window shaping up. United fans will be glued to their phones waiting for those names to drop. Now let's switch over to the NFL, where there's plenty happening even before the regular season kicks off. First up, ESPN is reporting that Deebo Samuel is heading back to San Francisco. The veteran wide receiver is signing a one-year deal with the 49ers that could be worth up to $7 million. Sources told NFL Network's Ian Rappaport about the agreement. It's a reunion that should please Niners fans. Deebo is one of those rare gadget receivers who can take the roof off a defense, and bringing him back gives San Francisco a familiar weapon in their arsenal. Meanwhile, across the league, the New Orleans Saints have made a major statement about their future. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that wide receiver Chris Olave has inked a 4-year extension worth up to a stunning $132 million, with $90 million of that fully guaranteed. Olave's agents Drew and Jason Rosenhaus confirmed the deal. That is generational money, and it signals that New Orleans sees Olave as their franchise receiver for years to come. And one more NFL nugget. ESPN is also reporting that Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield admitted he felt, in his own words, disrespected a little bit after failing to agree on a new contract with the team before his self-imposed training camp deadline. Mayfield said he felt undervalued by the offers on the table. Whether that creates any long-term tension in Tampa Bay remains to be seen. Baseball fans, buckle up. The MLB trade deadline is officially here, and the deals are already flying. ESPN's Jeff Passan, who published a massive trade deadline preview covering all 30 teams, is reporting that the New York Mets have kicked off what could be a busy selling period. The last place Mets have shipped left-handed reliever A.J. Minter to the Minnesota Twins in exchange for prospects Bruin Agbayani and Billy Amick. It might not be the splashiest deal you'll ever see, but Passan says this could be just the first of multiple moves from a Mets front office that appears ready to reshape the roster. Speaking of the Twins, they had a memorable night on the field too. ESPN reports that Cody Clemens, yes, the son of Roger Clemens, blasted a walk-off grand slam in the 9th inning against the Kansas City Royals. That came after Minnesota was no-hit through 6 innings by Noah Cameron. They were staring at a shutout, And then, bang, grand slam, game over. Twins win 4-3. Baseball is incredible. And over in Los Angeles, Dodgers fans got a brief scare. ESPN is reporting that superstar Shohei Ohtani was held out of Thursday's lineup against the Mariners due to lingering soreness in his left knee. The good news? Manager Dave Roberts called it a precautionary move and said Ohtani would be back in the lineup by Friday. The Dodgers still won 5-2, but no one wants to see that name in the injury report. Let's take a trip to Mexico now, where Norrie has been absolutely on fire at the Los Cabos Open. Sky Sports is reporting that the British #1 raced into his first semi-final of the 2026 season with a dominant performance against Bernard Tomic. The scoreline? 6-1, 6-love. A double bagel special, or close enough to one. Norrie was relentless from the first game, giving Tomic absolutely no room to breathe. When you're winning sets 6-1 and 6-0, you are playing some seriously clean tennis. This is a big moment for Norrie, who has been searching for form earlier in the year. Getting into a semi-final and building that match toughness on a hard court heading into the back half of the season is exactly the kind of momentum he'll be hoping to carry forward. We'll keep an eye on how he gets on in the last four. And finally, a really compelling human story to wrap things up, this one from BBC Sport. MMA fighter Dakota Ditcheva is making her return to the cage after spending a full year on the sidelines. The reason? 2 serious hand injuries that required surgery and a lengthy recovery. But according to BBC Sports' profile on her comeback, Ditcheva says the time away from fighting was actually transformative, not just physically, but mentally. She's come back with a completely different perspective on MMA, on what the UFC means to her, and crucially, on what life looks like after her fighting career eventually ends. That kind of self-reflection is rare in combat sports, where athletes are often pressured to push through everything and never look beyond the next fight. Ditcheva has shown serious promise as a competitor, and now with what sounds like a more balanced mindset, it'll be fascinating to see how she performs back in the cage. BBC Sport has the full story, definitely worth a read if you're a combat sports fan. Alright everyone, that is a wrap on today's edition of Genai Sports News. We covered FIFA's World Cup controversy, Man United's transfer hunt, big NFL deals, MLB deadline drama, Norrie's tennis masterclass, and Ditcheva's MMA comeback. If you enjoyed the show, smash that like button, drop a comment with your hottest sports take, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'll catch you next time. Take care.